Oh, hi guys. Sorry, you found me 5 minutes before I started recording. But anyway, so most of you have been asking me why I started Lady CLC 19 with Joy Rongo. I have also had my own share of pain. I know how it feels to want to give up. This is basically here to speak hope and inspire.
Well, good evening and a very warm welcome to TV 47 News tonight, this 14th day of October 2021. My name is Musa Salah and we have a lot lined up for you, but first, the top stories making headlines tonight. Tonight, the family of slain athlete Agnes Tirop says they were not aware of the relationship between her and the man said to be her husband and the murder suspect.
Manuel hajakuja hata ajui hata nyumbani. Anakuja tu lakini hatujui familia yake jinsi hata wanavyokaa.
The man is still at large. Families of the victims of Martin Wanjala's killings now living in fear.
Sikulala usiku nikiona naweza amka nikielekea sokoni nipatane na yeye. 3
police officers were arrested over the escape of the self-confessed serial killer from Jogoo police station. ODM boss Raila Odinga defends his 6,000 shilling stipend offer to unemployed Kenyans if elected president.
Pesa ikiwa kama hii kwa hazina ya serikali tunaweza kutoa zaidi hata 6,000 hiyo.
But Ruto terms it as a promise that is not achievable.
Na amekubali mambo ya uchumi. Shida yake anafikiri ya kwamba mahasla ni maskini, anataka kuwapatia handouts.
Ruto is at the coast while Raila is in Turkana. Welcome to the broadcast. Mini Mpesa is our sign language interpreter, and on to our top story. A section of families whose children fell victim to self-confessed serial killer Martin Wanjala is living in fear following Wanjala's escape from the Jogoo Road police station on Tuesday night. The families, which are crying for justice, have now called on Interior CS Fred Matiang'i and Police IG Hilary Mutyambai to ensure that the suspect is rearrested and brought to book for the murder of up to 13 children. And as David Mudoka now reports, 3 police officers accused of aiding Wanjala's escape were on Thursday arraigned in court as the probe into the cell break enters its second day.
Grief, pain and fear, all written on the face of Felista Wayua barely a day after the escape of self-confessed serial killer Martin Wanjala from the Jogoo Road police station. Her 12-year-old son, Junior Mutuku, was among 13 children who Wanjala confessed to have brutally killed, and now her son's alleged killer is at large, lurking in the shadows. His escape reigniting raw memories of her son's death and rubbing off the scabs from a wound that months later has not healed.
Sisi tulikuwa na wito ya haki yetu, njoo tumepoteza, tunataka haki yetu. Lakini vile tulisikia huyo mtu alipotea, nikanjiuliza maswali, tutakesi na nani? Serikali tu ndio itanjua vile itatufanya. Njoo ilikuwa namchukiwa akapotea mikononi mwao.
With the pursuit for justice having run into headwinds, Felista and other families whose children fell victim to Wanjala's killing spree have called on police to leave no stone unturned as they trace the suspect's footsteps.
Serikali ndio wanjanja, sisi si wanjanja. Vile walimshika watuambie haki yetu tutapata aje. Njoo tulikuwa tukoshua tutapata haki yetu, njoo alikuwa ndani.
We have an enemy within us. We don't have anyone to guide us. We don't have anyone to guard us. We are depending on you, Matiang'i. We are depending on you, Mutyambai. We are depending on you, the president of this republic. Tafadhali tutafutie Wanjala mrudishe kwa cell so that our children can live a free life.
This as the 3 police officers who were arrested in connection with Wanjala's cell break were on Thursday arraigned at the Milimani Law Courts, where the prosecution sought 14 more days to complete its probe into their involvement. Inspector Philip Mbithi, Constable Precious Mwinzi, as well as Constable Boniface Mutuma are facing 2 counts of aiding a prisoner to break from lawful custody as well as neglect of duty leading to their escape. The court will rule on whether the prosecution will have its 14 days on Friday.
As the whereabouts of the prime suspect into the murders of more than 10 children, Masten Milimo Wanjala, remain a mystery, the families whose young ones were abruptly and cruelly taken away from them hope that he will be rearrested and that justice will ultimately prevail. David Mudhoka, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, thank you, David Mudhoka, for that report. The family of slain athlete Agnes Tirop has refuted claims that the man believed to have murdered their daughter is her husband. The family says they do not recognize any formal marriage between the suspect Emmanuel Rotich and their daughter, since he has not paid dowry or legally married her. Mwangi Maina has more.
Inasikia uchungu sana kwa maana hiyo mtoto alikuwa ananisaidia sana kila kitu.
Pain, anguish and anger untold. It is a pain of Tina Tirop, the mother to a star athlete home and away, Agnes Jebet Tirop, whose life was snuffed at the prime of her career in the most cruel and inhumane manner. The last time Tina saw her daughter alive was Sunday evening when she left their rural home in Kapnyamasia village, Mosoriot, Nandi County. Tirop told her mother that she was going back to her training camp in Iten in Elgeyo Marakwet County and would be back home before flying out of the country for an athletic activity come November. She was never to see her alive again.
Na nilikuwa nimesikia hiyo mtoto, nilikipigia simu, achukui simu, nilikuwa mteja. Sasa nikakaa siku ya Jumatatu, kesho chana nikapata tu, nikaona watu wengi wameingia, nikajua tu kumbe hiyo mtoto ameaga dunia.
Na wakati amefika kwa kambi, that's when she was lured. And we think there's something that guy wanted. And maybe he lied to her kwamba anataka kumrudishia mali yake. And that's why alitoka akaenda kwa nyumba yake ambayo hakuwa anaishi. She was no longer staying in that house. Alikuwa anakaa kambi. Sababu gani? Alikuwa amemwogopa the guy.
The family has mourned their daughter as an industrious, hardworking, a breadwinner, and by a great extent a mentor and an inspiration to her siblings. The family says Emmanuel Rotich, Tirop's personal trainer, was unknown to them and had not married their daughter. The bereaved family is yet to come to terms with their daughter's cruel murder at the hands of a man who helped her scale the heights of her career. Tirop's family has also raised questions regarding her wealth, claiming that her trainer, now the murder suspect, controlled a majority of her finances and was staying in Tirop's house where her body was found.
Alikuwa mtoto ya heshima na mpole. Na kinisa alipenda kukucha nyumbani sana.
Manuel hajakuja hata ajui hata nyumbani. Anakuja tu lakini hatujui familia yake, jinsi hata wanavyokaa. Huyu jamaa ni nini alitaka kwake? Already ashachukua mali yake, ashachukua nyumba zake ama hizo vitu zingine. Ni nini hasa alikuwa bado anatafuta kwake hadi akachukua maisha yake?
Unajua hata siku hiyo venye walienda Tokyo. Saa kurudi, hasa alikuwa amepata kumbe huyu jamaa anafanya maneno yake na warembo wengine. Hasa hapo ndio ilileta shida kabisa, wakaachana. Hasa Agnes akakuja nyumbani, akasema kweli hatupatani mzuri na Manu. Hapo sasa ndio sasa alikuwa nyumbani. Hadi juzi sasa hiyo Sunday, this Sunday tu, hii Sunday hata haijapita. Ndio anatuambia wameenda wapi? Agnes was spotted akienda wapi? Kwa kina Manu.
As burial preparations take shape, family, friends, relatives and the athletic community is asking nothing less than justice for the stellar athlete. Tirop was a 10,000-meter world record holder and had represented Kenya in the Tokyo Olympics 2 months ago, where she finished 4th. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, moving on, the High Court has declared the Huduma number rollout illegal for violating the Data Protection Act. High Court Judge Jaira Zanga has ordered the government to first assess the impact on Kenyans' data before rolling out the process. Paul Kirobi has more.
While rolling out the program in November 2019, ICT CS Jomosheru said the Huduma number card will be the primary source of data on every citizen and foreigner. The Interior Ministry had argued that the Data Protection Act came into effect before plans to roll out the Huduma number cards were launched. According to the Data Protection Act, there will be an establishment of the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner to make provision for the regulation of the processing of personal data, to provide for the rights of data subjects and obligations of data controllers and processors, and for connected purposes. In a case determined earlier, several organizations argued that the data might be destroyed, deleted, or vital records lost, identity theft, and fraud. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Well, away from the Huduma number, and let's take a look at some politics. ODM leader Raila Odinga has continued to defend his stipend offer of 6,000 shillings to the poor, saying it is achievable through laid-down policies. Raila met ODM delegates in Turkana, as Josh Onsare now reports.
ODM leader Raila Odinga took his Azimio la Umoja politics to Turkana County despite his fallout with the county boss governor Josphat Nanok, who is now an ally of Deputy President William Ruto. Raila defended his 6,000 stipend offer to the poor if elected president, while hitting at his critics, saying they have crippled the government by stealing public funds. Raila further promising that his administration will seal all the corruption loopholes.
Ndoto tunakuwa tunapatia kila jamii ambaye hawana mapato kila mwezi tutakuwa napata shilingi 6,000. Tutahakikisha kwamba tumeziba hizo mianya pale ambaye hao watu wanaiba pesa yao. Na hiyo pesa itakweko kwa matumizi ya wananchi ambao wanahitaji hiyo pesa.
Raila, who is eyeing the top seat, promised to revive industries to make Kenya an industrial country. And with the Turkana County facing frequent drought, Raila said if elected president, he will have well laid down structures in the agricultural sector to help end perennial droughts.
Tunasema kwa upande ya kilimo, tutaleta kilimo ya kisasa. Pale ambayo wakulima wanapata haki yao kulingana na jasho yao. Tutapunguza gharama ya kilimo ili unaweza kulima kwa bei ya chini.
Raila was received in Lodwar by the mining CS John Munyes, Loima MP Honorable Jeremiah Lumurkai, and other local leaders.
Sasa sisi Waturkana lazima tuwe gangari. Vijana oye! Wangapi watashikana na mzee? Serikali ambayo italeta matenda na ifanywe na wafanyabiashara. Na kuhakikisha vijana sio vijana wa kusukuma wheelbarrow. Wangapi wanasupport baba? Wangapi wanasupport baba? Na sisi Wakikuyu tumeangalia randa, tukaona mzee ndiye ataingia Ikulu na tuko ndani kabisa.
Odinga, while addressing his ODM delegates in a hotel in Lodwar, urged the youth to join TVET colleges to gain skills that will make them competitive in the job market.
Tunataka kuona kama vijana hizi TVETs tunataka iwe katika kila sub-county. Tunafundisha vijana sawa. Ili tuwe na skill manpower ambayo itakuwa natoka eneo hii.
Josh Onsare, TV47.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto has toured the counties of Taita Taveta and Kwale to popularize his presidential bid ahead of the 2022 general election. Ruto, who seemed satisfied with the change in the political scene that has been dominated by improving the lives of ordinary Kenyans pioneered by the Deputy President through his hustler narrative, has continued to chide Odinga's campaign strategy, faulting him for derailing Jubilee's Big Four agenda. In his tour of the Coast region to popularize his 2022 agenda, Deputy President William Ruto boasted of successfully changing the conversation surrounding national politics, with ODM leader Raila Odinga and other presidential candidates basing their campaigns on Kenya's economy and empowering the youth.
Siasa yako imebadilisha mjadala katika Kenya hii.
Hata mtu ya kitendawili leo amekubali ya kwamba siasa ya kwenda mbele ni siasa ya mahasla, na amekubali mambo ya uchumi. Shida yake anafikiri ya kwamba mahasla ni maskini, anataka kuwapatia handouts.
According to Ruto, the BBI process, which was declared unconstitutional by the Court of Appeal in August this year, was only meant to safeguard the interest of a few by creating powerful positions in government. Ruto promising the thousands of youth who attended his empowerment crusades in both Taita Taveta and Kwale counties equal job opportunities for all.
Wakasema kwamba hapo tuende kuongeza vyeo tofauti, wewe ukasema hapana.
Asilimia karibu 70 ya umati huu ni vijana hawana kazi. Alafu wale mabwenyenye wanatuambia ati hii sio priority ya kuwatafutia kazi, ati priority ni kubadilisha katiba wakawane vyeo na mamlaka. Wale ni matapeli, si matapeli.
However, Ruto's allies asked their supporters to register as voters in the ongoing mass voter registration exercise, as the Deputy President questioned the sudden change of heart among his once-upon-a-time allies in implicating him in graft cases.
Sasa wewe hasla, nataka kukuambia lazima ujitayarishe, na kujitayarisha ni lazima uwe na kura yako mfukoni.
Wakati mimi nilikuwa nasaidia Raila Odinga, walisema mimi ni mtu mzuri sana. Wakati nilisaidia Uhuru Kenyatta mpaka akakuwa rais, walikuwa wanasema mimi ni mtu mzuri sana. Saa hizi nimesema nataka kusaidia hawa hawana kazi, wananiita ati mimi ni mkora, sijui mimi ni mwizi.
The second in command also chided ODM leader Raila Odinga's new political strategy, accusing him of disorienting President Kenyatta's government.
Leo chama ya Jubilee imesambaratika. Big Four imesambaratika. NASA imesambaratika. Pale kuna umoja. Ndio tumesema chama ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote na Hustler Nation ni chama ya UDA.
Ruto is set to continue with his tour of the coast on Friday in Kwale and Mombasa counties, areas perceived to be Odinga's strongholds. Well, it is a sigh of relief for poor households as the Energy Regulatory Commission reviewed the prices of kerosene and fuel downwards. In the latest monthly fuel price review, prices of super petrol and diesel have decreased by 5 shillings per litre, while that of kerosene has been slashed by 7 shillings per litre. We'll have that report after we take our first commercial break. We'll be back with more. Do stay with us. Coming up, the government launches malaria vaccination drive targeting to eradicate malaria by 2030.
Oh, hi guys. Sorry, you found me 5 minutes before I started recording, but anyway, so most of you have been asking me why I started Lady CLC 19 with Joy Rongo. I have also had my own share of pain. I know how it feels to want to give up. This is basically here to speak hope and inspire somebody who's going through a rough patch, to tell them that they can turn their pain into power our guests are normally here to share their experiences so that you can know somebody else did it, so you can also come out of it stronger and better. Let me go to my recording, and remember to always stay tuned every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Undertaking husband duties on a boyfriend tender.
Guys, with bromance, do you share your woman with the bro? Have a sister? Give me your sister. I show you how these things are done. So you go release and be like,
Men supporting each other, not only financially, but also socially.
Don't mingle with women you can't deal with.
Is there really a formula for dating and marriage?
Some men are procreational, some men are recreational.
Every Wednesday on TV47, the Men's Conference brings you a cocktail of top-notch advice to breed alpha males for alpha females in the society.
Tunaweza tumia hii tenje tutesiwe do. Mimi naitwa Ben. Mimi ndo rafiki ya babako.
Tumeleta dozi zako usimize mtoto.
And now we have to deal with a drug addict.
Yaani ulio mzai wako. I had to.
Sema! Dozi zangu ziko wapi?
Ben! Tuisheni Uganda.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher and trickier with each passing day.
Na wawache kuja kutuletea makasiriko.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
Nonetheless, you have justified your change of stance.
It's my bloody personal politics.
Tell them this. They could have gone to do law so that they become judges. They do not have the capacity, training, or skill to interpret a court order.
As a journalist, you have also had occasion to actually do some research. Read the judgment of
it's the nature of our job to have. The question is very specific.
Listen to me,
my question is very specific.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m., Pundits Night brings you inclusive and candid conversations with the pundits. It just doesn't land on your plate. It takes hard work.
They require highly skilled labor.
Time.
8 months, and that means you have given it a lot of care, a lot of time.
And resources.
I remember I had invested so much in fertilizer, like I just didn't want anything to go wrong.
From a seed, seedling, to a fruit or vegetable, as well as a fertilized egg to a chicken, duck, or turkey. Here at Kilimo Diaries, Sandra Wahito takes us through it all every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Every successful business offers a solution to a problem. It could be eyewear for your visual needs, automotive for your car troubles, or even art for your creative spaces. Here at The Grind, Violet Njoki helps quiet all the business noises and make sense of it all with business advice.
The first thing is to start.
Tips.
They should be unique.
And ideas.
Put our product out there. Tunaiweka kwa social media.
Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Kenya's award-winning TV station TV47, in conjunction with Club Melodin, brings you Africa Express. Join in the party with DJ Mosese and DJ Kiki. Wine and dine with your super entertaining hosts Nafuna Namiso and PDG Dr. Nico himself. All roads lead to Club Melodin in Upper Hill, Saturday, October 16th from 4 p.m. Kenya's award-winning TV station TV47, in conjunction with Club Melodin, brings you Africa Express. Join in the party with DJ Mosese and DJ Kiki. Wine and dine with your super entertaining hosts Nafuna Namiso and PDG Dr. Nico himself. All roads lead to Club Melodin in Upper Hill.
Oh, hi guys. Sorry, you found me 5 minutes before I started recording. But anyway, so most of you have been asking me why I started Lady CLC 19 with Joy Rongo. I have also had my own share of pain. I know how it feels to want to give up. This is basically here to speak hope and inspire somebody who's going through a rough patch, to tell them that they can turn their pain into power. Our guests are normally here to share their experiences so that you can know somebody else did it, so you can also come out of it stronger and better. Let me go to my recording, and remember to always stay tuned every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Undertaking husband duties on a boyfriend tender.
Guys, with bromance, do you share your woman with the bro? Have a sister? Give me your sister. I show you how these things are done. So you go release and be like,
Men supporting each other, not only financially, but also socially.
Don't mingle with women you can't deal with.
Is there really a formula for dating and marriage?
Alright, welcome back. You're watching TV47 News tonight. Let's get back to that story we had promised you earlier on. It is a sigh of relief for poor households as the Energy Regulatory Commission reviewed the prices of kerosene and fuel downwards. In the latest monthly fuel price review, prices of super petrol and diesel decreased by 5 shillings per litre, while that of kerosene has been slashed by 7 shillings per litre. And in Kilemi has that report.
Kenyans will now enjoy lower fuel prices following a 5 shilling decrease in petrol and diesel. In the latest April review, petrol and diesel will now retail at 129.72 shillings and 110.6 shillings per litre respectively. The price of kerosene has also been revised downwards by 7.28 shillings and will retail at 101.29 shillings per litre. This follows numerous cries from Kenyans and recommendations by members of Parliament to slash the burdening taxes by nearly half. A litre of petrol will now retail at 127 shillings in Mombasa County, as that of diesel and kerosene retails at 108 shillings and 101 shillings respectively. In Nairobi, a litre of petrol will retail at 129 shillings, 110 shillings for a litre of diesel, and 103 for a litre of kerosene. In Kisumu, a litre of petrol and diesel will go for 130 shillings and 111 shillings respectively, as that of kerosene retails at 104 shillings per litre. Members of Parliament have, however, continued to push for a further reduction of fuel prices in the country.
12 shillings per litre drop is not good enough. As a house, we should be able to push that down to around 110. Plus about 30 shillings.
Mheshimiwa Spika, bei ya mafuta kuna wakati ilikuwa shilingi 70. Wakati ule Wakenya walikuwa wanaweza kufanya kazi bila kufanya biashara zao bila wasiwasi. Sasa kutoka shilingi 70, Mheshimiwa Spika, imeenda karibu mara mbili, shilingi 136. Alafu tunasema kwa ipungue tu kwa shilingi 10 na shilingi 10 ama shilingi 12. Mheshimiwa Spika, kweli tutakuwa hatujafanya la msingi ambalo Wakenya wengi wanatazamia. Mheshimiwa Spika,
the MPs further faulted President Uhuru Kenyatta for imposing a 8% VAT on fuel that has continued to burden the common mwananchi.
It is the president who actually sent a memoranda to this house, Madam Speaker, and therefore the increment in terms of the VAT of all products, Madam Speaker, is purely because the president sent a memoranda to this house. VAT on fuel should be zero rated at 0%. Same with cooking gas, Honorable Speaker, LPG gas. That also I would encourage the committee, even as they draft the bill, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, that may also be moved not from 16 to 8%, but we zero rate that again as it were.
The new prices announced today by EPRA will take effect tonight until November 14th, when new prices will be announced. Andrena Kilemi, TV 47.
Now, the Aldamaravine Referral Hospital in Baringo County has been hit by the shortage of hospital equipment, forcing patients to seek health services elsewhere. Elizabeth Atieno has more details.
At the Aldamaravine Referral Hospital in Baringo County, patients arriving at the hospital in search of services are forced to carry essentials required for their accommodation, gloves and other equipment so they can be admitted to the hospital.
Mashida ambayo tuko nayo hapa ya kwamba ukimleta mgonjwa awe huyo mgonjwa atalazwa, ni lazima ununue blanketi za kujifunika huyo mgonjwa, lazima, la sivyo no blanket. Ya pili, unaandikiwa dawa, na baada ya kuandikiwa dawa ukienda kuchukua dawa pale zinachukuliwa, unaambiwa dawa fulani hakuna, dawa fulani hakuna, na unaambiwa ni wapi unaenda kununua. Kama ni chemistry unaambiwa ni wapi unaenda kununua.
Sorry. Patient tunapinga.
At the maternity ward, expectant mothers who have no alternative are forced to obtain the requirements needed for admission.
Katika hospitali hapa wamama wanajisumbua sana kwa sababu wakikuja hospitali natakikana kama always, natakikana kama wembe. Wamama hata wanaweza letwa na gogo na hawajui, gogo akituma kwenda kununua hizo vitu ajui. Sasa unaona hiyo ni changamoto.
Mlete mama yeye ambaye anakuja kujifungua, ni lazima ununue gloves na vitu vingine tu. Kwa nini? Na hii hospitali imeshakuwa hospitali kuu.
The county health CEC Dr. Richard Rotich has admitted that there is a shortage of drugs and hospital equipment at the hospital, while pointing an accusing finger at the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA.
What we are saying is that if one or two patients were asked to buy gloves, sterile gloves, it is not the practice of our facilities to ask patients to buy. It is actually us to supply. But then we cannot supply when the market is not adequately supplied.
Elizabeth Atieno, TV 47.
Well, 30 minutes past the hour, and it is time to take our second commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Remember, you can follow this live broadcast on www.tv47.co.ke. Do stay with us.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Oh, hi guys. Sorry, you found me 5 minutes before I started recording, but anyway, so most of you have been asking me why I started Lady CLC 19 with Joy Rongo. I have also had my own share of pain. I know how it feels to want to give up. This is basically here to speak hope and inspire somebody who's going through a rough patch, to tell them that they can turn their pain into power. Our guests are normally here to share their experiences so that you can know somebody else did it, so you can also come out of it stronger and better. Let me go to my recording, and remember to always stay tuned every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Undertaking husband duties on a boyfriend tender.
Guys, with bromance, do you share your woman with the bro? Have a sister? Give me your sister. I show you how these things are done. So you go release and be like,
Men supporting each other, not only financially, but also socially.
Don't mingle with women you can't deal with.
Is there really a formula for dating and marriage?
Some men are procreational, some men are recreational.
Every Wednesday on TV47, the Men's Conference brings you a cocktail of top-notch advice to breed alpha males for alpha females in the society.
Tunaweza tumia hii tenje tutrace hiyo do. Mimi naitwa Ben. Mimi ndo rafiki ya babako.
Tumeleta doza zako usimize mtoto.
And now we have to deal with a drug addict.
Yaani ulio mzai wako. I had to.
Sema!
Doza zangu ziko wapi?
Ben! Tuisheni Uganda.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher and trickier with each passing day.
Na wawache kuja kutuletea makasiriko.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
Nonetheless, you have justified your change of stance.
It's my bloody personal politics. Tell them this. They could have gone to do law so that they become judges. They do not have the capacity, training, or skill to interpret a court order.
As a journalist, you have also had occasion to actually do some research. Read the judgment of
the nature of our job to have. The question is very specific.
Listen to me,
my question is very specific.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m., Pundits Night brings you inclusive and candid conversations with the pundits. It just doesn't land on your plate. It takes hard work.
They require highly skilled labor.
Time.
8 months, and that means you have given it a lot of care, a lot of time.
And resources.
I remember I had invested so much in fertilizer, like I just didn't want anything to go wrong.
From a seed, seedling, to a fruit or vegetable, as well as a fertilized egg to a chicken, duck or turkey. Here at Kilimo Diaries, Sandra Wahito takes us through it all every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Every successful business offers a solution to a problem. It could be eyewear for your visual needs, automotive for your car troubles, or even art for your creative
Welcome back. You're watching TV47 News Tonight. Keep talking to us. 22047 is our SMS line. You can also find us on social media at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, as well as at TV47K on Twitter. The hashtag to use is TV47 News Tonight. Now, the Ministry of Health, in conjunction with the World Health Organization, has launched a malaria vaccination drive. The move is aimed at eradicating malaria in the country by the year 2030. According to the Ministry of Health, although the cases have reduced, malaria remains a primary cause of illness among children aged 5 years and below. Faith Weru has more.
The Ministry of Health has launched a malaria vaccination drive to children. The vaccine was rolled out on September 2019, Kenya being among the 3 selected African countries alongside Ghana and Malawi.
World's first malaria vaccine to reduce child illness and deaths from malaria in sub-Saharan Africa and in other regions with moderate to high transmission is a historic moment in the fight against malaria.
Though the ministry said that the cases have reduced, they insisted that it is still a threat, especially to pregnant mothers and children under the age of 5.
Malaria is still a leading cause of loss of pregnancy. Loss of pregnancy early,
miscarriages, stillbirths, low birth weights, premature deliveries. Malaria is a cause of that.
Speaking during the event, Health Acting Director General Dr. Patrick Amoth called for behavioral change in using the mosquito net and seeking medication when symptoms arise.
And promoting social and behavior change to reduce infection risks. Having the net is one thing, using it properly is a totally different ballgame. I also happen to come from that region and I've seen bed nets being used either as barriers in the kitchen gardens, or sometimes we use it for fishing.
The ministry said the 4 vaccine dose is free and will be administered to hospitals countrywide.
It is a 4-dose schedule. The first dose given at 6 months, which coincides with vitamin A administration. The second dose given at 7 months, where children come to the hospitals to be weighed on a monthly basis. Then the third dose is given at 9 months, which coincides with the first dose of measles rubella. And then the fourth dose is actually given at 2 years.
So far, 2.3 million doses have been administered in the 3 selected countries, a vaccination which has reduced the infection by 40%. However, 400,000 deaths are recorded worldwide, with African children more affected, recording over 260,000 cases annually. The ministry said in vaccinating 200 children, 1 life is saved. Faith Weru, TV 47.
Now, majority of the schools that neighbor the Laikipia Nature Conservancy are yet to reopen, forcing learners to remain stranded at home. This follows escalating cases of insecurity occasioned by bandits and livestock raiders emanating through the Conservancy. Micah Gwongo has the details.
At Mbogoine Primary School in Ngarwa Division and Nagum Primary School in Almaran, no pupils had reported by midday Wednesday, and only teachers and other workers were present, while in other nearby schools only few pupils had returned.
Na maendeleo ni masomo ya watoto hawaendi shule. Mbogoine hawasomi, huko ndio iko na msiba ya watu 3. Huko Ararabero watoto wengine wanaenda na wengine wanaenda tu na kusikia uoga ati kwa sababu wanaambia na mwalimu waende shule.
Watoto wa Mbogoine primary hawaendi shule kutoka baby class mpaka class 8 wako nyumbani, wakihofia kuenda shule wafamiwe ama wazazi wao wafamiwe.
Tumaini Academy manager Peterson Mudhwa says at least 75% of learners have resumed learning.
Siku ya kwanza tulikuwa na watoto 30, jana tulikuwa na watoto 122 na siku ya leo tulikuwa na watoto 170. Bado tuko na watoto kama 102 ambao bado hawajarudi, na ninafikiria ni kwa sababu wengi wanaangalia kama watu wamerudi, wanaangalia situation ikoaje katika kijiji cha Garinarok.
Majority of those yet to return to schools are pupils who come from the pastoral communities who had fled as a result of rising cases of banditry attacks, but efforts were being made to encourage their parents to bring them back to schools as normalcy was returning, albeit slow.
Kila siku tuko na askari wawili mchana, askari wawili usiku, na tuko na 2 NPL every day and every night.
The security is slowly being attained, and therefore I would urge them to let their kids go back to school, and we shall alliance with the various parties to see that everything is in order.
Majority of parents expressed their fears of attacks, claiming criminals who have been terrorizing them were still roaming around from the Laikipia Nature Conservancy, and hence feared that more attacks could be meted on them.
Heri tulinde watoto wetu wakiwa manyumbani tukiwa tunawaona, kwa sababu sasa hata ile mifugo tulikuwa tumefuga sasa imeisha.
Though the government has increased the number of security personnel in the area to enhance security operations to weed out criminals from the troubled areas, residents were still pessimistic that things were not yet in order.
Sasa tunakaa barabara kwa sababu ni uoga tu tunasikia. Ukikaa kwa nyumba unasikia uoga. Kwa hivyo ukaona wewe afadhali utoke kwa barabara. Tukisikia gari kama hii tunatokea kushungulia. Ni nini? Ukisikia watu wanaongea unatoka tu kushungulia.
Na saa hii tunahofia tu kwa sababu wakati wowote tunaweza kupigwa na hawa wakora.
Almaran Divisional Education Officer Patrick Kimani has said that the government has put enough measures to ensure the safety of the local communities, adding that security has also been provided within the school to guarantee the safety of learners.
So all of them are in session, apart from one where we had the security issue, that is Nagum. But measures are being put into place to see that the school resumes.
For TV 47 Amike, Kagwongo.
Well, religious leaders now say they extended an invite to President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy in their quest to unite the two, but were ignored. Speaking in Nairobi, the leaders, however, say they have not lost hope in their quest. The group has also raised the concern on President Kenyatta's involvement in the succession politics, saying the president is a symbol of national unity.
This DRG is concerned with the leadership gap in the IEBC, characterized by lack of substantive CEO. It's our view that this needs to be addressed as a priority to avoid any leadership gaps as we near the elections. Post-election evaluations. We recommend that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission facilitates public discussions and conference on the findings and recommendation arising from the post-election evaluation of the 2017 general elections. The shortcoming of the previous election should not be repeated again. The stern, speedy, and visible action be taken by the IEBC, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, and security agencies against any persons who mobilize for violence. We are also concerned that the political campaigns have taken stage against the guidelines that govern campaigns beside the COVID-19 context. On political party preparedness primaries, we are concerned that the political party environment is not conducive for credible party primaries. In counseling, willing counselor. When I give you an offer, I wait for you to call. So we are waiting to see, like you. If they are willing, I'm sure our bishops and other religious community, we are willing, first of all, we are praying for them. We are willing to sit, discuss, and have dialogue together.
All right, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi has called on President Uhuru Kenyatta to lift the ongoing nationwide curfew. Mudavadi says Kenyans cannot continue bearing the economic hardships anymore. Mudavadi also says the nationwide curfew is aggravating life that is already unbearable. The ANC party leader says Kenyans will continue observing the laid down COVID-19 protocols as stipulated by the Ministry of Health without any inconvenience or rather inconveniencing the curfew. He made this statement after the parliamentary group meeting here in Nairobi.
Askari ambao huwa wanaangalia hizi mambo za kafyu. Tunajua saa hizi kwamba ukishikwa na askari unatozwa faini ile ambayo sio ya halali, hupelekwi kotini. Siku hizi sisikii kama watu wanapelekwa kotini. Na pahali popote unapopita unaona tu bado watu wanatembea. Kwa hivyo ukweli ni kwamba mwananchi ndiye ambaye anaumia kutoa hongo, na tumezungumzia kama chama, nafikiri party leader wetu tunamjua, huwa anazungumzia sana juu ya mambo ya ufisadi. Kwa hivyo curfew pia imekuwa ni njia moja ya ufisadi. Na istoshe, kwa mfano shule zimefunguliwa. Mtu ambaye yuko pwani anapeleka mtoto wake sehemu nyingine, inabidi achukue siku 3. Mtu akitoka Mombasa saa hii na anaenda anapeleka mtoto Kakamega ama Butere ama sehemu nyingine Meru, ni safari ya siku 3. Hii ni gharama.
It is time that the curfew is lifted. We are not saying that COVID guidelines should not be observed. The issue of the masks and the necessary precautions must continue to be taken as we move forward. But clearly, we cannot continue in a situation where, with the economic hardships, and clearly we are beginning to see the decline in the COVID spread rate, the issue of the curfew now becomes significant.
And in business, farmers around the Lake region have been outbrave to adopt modern technology to preserve their produce with the use of a solar-powered cooler box, which will enable them to sell the produce at a reasonable price, cutting off the losses incurred. Now, according to the program officer for the Inter-Region Economic Network, Ibrahim Wakitau, the network was working with the community within the Lake Region Economic Bloc to innovate solutions that would help improve economic well-being of the residents.
You're coming up with innovations that are relevant to community settings that are bold to change community issues and community problems. So currently we are here in Ugunja and we have the solar-powered cooler box. Yeah, the purpose of the cooler box was designed for the purposes of bringing and assisting farmers, indigenous farmers that is, to come up with ways in such a way that they may preserve their produce so that they may stay for longer and reach markets, forces of market areas when they're still fresh.
I've been facing a lot of challenges. Whenever we produce during the rainy season, the market gets overcrowded, and when you